I was able to grow my hair to table length as a relaxed hair girly, and I have never been on a natural hair journey. If I could do it, you can do it too, and that is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. Hi my loves, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Here in this channel we talk about relaxed hair care, hair growth tips, protective styling, and anything hair related. So if you know you're interested in this type of content, please consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to grow your relaxed hair. And without further ado, let's just get started. So I'm going to start by sharing with you guys why I choose to be a relaxed hair girly instead of being natural. So when I started my hair, I think I didn't relax my hair for the first 6 months because I was trying to gather length and volume before I eventually relaxed my hair, because I was excited about the whole thing. I was like, okay, if I can get like 2 years worth of growth before I relax my hair, when I eventually relax my hair, it will be long and flowy and all of that. But yeah, I couldn't keep up with the texture of my hair. And when I started, I didn't know about things like deep conditioning, moisturizing to make your hair more manageable and all of that. So 6 months into my hair growth journey, I relaxed my hair, and after that I just kind of fell in love with my relaxed hair, and ever since then I have been relaxing my hair. So let's just say that since the beginning I have already decided to relax my hair. Okay, so it was not as if I was pressured or there was a turning point. So I was natural before and then one day I decided to go relaxed. No, I have always been relaxed, and I chose to be relaxed because I enjoy my hair more when it's relaxed, and I just kind of like how my relaxed hair feels. Now, some of you may be wondering, okay, before you relax your hair, was your hair not natural? Did you start your hair growth journey right from when you were born? Okay, sis, no, I didn't start my hair growth journey from birth. In fact, I started my hair growth journey 2014. That's like 11 years now. Wow. But prior to then, I was always on low cut. So I was always cutting my hair because I used to go to school back then, like primary school and secondary school, and for most of the classes we weren't permitted to be on a hair journey, like grow our hair out and all of that. So I was always cutting my hair. So it was when I finished secondary school that I started my hair growth journey, which was 2014. And yeah, 6 months into my hair growth journey, I relaxed my hair. So yeah, I have always been a relaxed hair girly by choice. So there's a myth that people believe in that says that relaxed hair can't grow long. Sis, this is so wrong. Like, I don't even know where this came from. Relaxed hair can grow long, and even if you didn't believe this before, sis, believe it now, because I am the proof. This is a living proof that relaxed hair can grow long. Getting your hair longer, getting your hair healthier is not about whether you're relaxed or natural. Your hair can be natural and be damaged and short, while on the other hand you can have relaxed hair that is flourishing, long and healthy. So it's not about whether your hair is relaxed or natural, it's about your hair care routine, the products you use, how you care for your hair and all of that. So instead of focusing on if relaxed or natural hair is what is going to get your hair longer or healthier, focus more on your hair care routine and your products, because this is more important in getting your hair longer and healthier. So moving on, I also want you guys to understand that relaxed hair is more fragile than natural hair. Yeah, that is the truth. So even though the state of your hair, that's whether you are relaxed or natural, is going to determine the length of your hair or how healthy your hair is, the truth is relaxed hair is still more fragile compared to natural hair. So that is why special attention and more care should be given to your hair if you have relaxed hair, because relaxers work by breaking down the protein bonds in your hair. That is what breaks down the coils and gives it that straighter look. So by default your hair is weaker compared to the natural state of your hair. But this does not automatically mean that your hair is less healthy or is going to break more or retain less length compared to when you have natural hair, because honestly both sides have their pros and cons. There are some factors that makes it easier to retain length with relaxed hair compared to natural hair, and there are some factors that makes it easier to retain length with natural hair compared to relaxed hair. So that is why I say it's not about whether your hair is relaxed or natural, it's about your hair care routine, because each side have their goods and their bads. Okay, so this is one of the bad sides of having relaxed hair. Your relaxed hair is by default going to be weaker than your natural hair. So this is why you have to pay special attention to it. This is why you have to pamper it more, you have to care for it more. Another thing I want you guys to know is that if you want to get your relaxed hair longer, you have to focus more on retention rather than hair growth, because whether your hair is relaxed, whether your hair is natural, your hair always grows. Now I'm talking about hair growth from the roots. So relaxed hair does not grow faster than natural hair, and natural hair does not grow faster than relaxed hair. Your hair is going to grow at the same rate whether you are relaxed or whether you are natural. So since we already know that our hair growth rate is going to be the same, in order to get our hair longer, the focus should be more on retention. Now I already said earlier that relaxed hair is by default weaker than natural hair, meaning it is more prone to breakage if we are looking at just the protein bonds and the strength of the hair. Now I'm saying with regards to the protein bonds and strength of the hair because natural hair can be more prone to breakage when it comes to other factors like the coil pattern, which will create more tangles and breakage compared to relaxed hair. So guys, you can see that each have their goods and bad. So while it may be more easy for relaxed hair to break due to lesser strength, due to the weakness of the protein bonds, natural hair may be more prone to breakage due to the coil pattern, which can cause more tangling and more breakage. So when trying to prevent breakage for natural and relaxed hair, the routine may be a little bit different because they each have their pain points, they each have their needs. For relaxed hair now, the problem is with the weakness with the protein bonds, not really with the coils and knots and all of that. Relaxed hair can still get tangled, but sis, you can't compare. So if you want to get your relaxed hair longer, this is why the focus should be on preventing breakage, because if you can prevent breakage as much as you can and you retain the length that is going to grow from your scalp, sis, tell me why your hair won't get longer, because guaranteed it is a fact that your hair is going to grow from your scalp. So all you have to do is retain that length by preventing breakage. So this is where having a hair care routine comes in, which is my next tip. You need to have a hair care routine, and this is not rare because most of the time when I have conversations, most of my clients don't have a hair care routine, and this is one of the things we talk about during the consultations, and we usually build a hair care routine together for those of them that don't have one. So having a hair care routine is fundamental. In fact, this is the first step. You don't need to have a perfect hair care routine from the onset. As long as you have a routine, have something you consistently and regularly do for your hair, you are good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just create a hair care routine, no matter how small it is, no matter how simple it is. As you carry out that routine on your hair, you will learn. You will learn along the journey. You will learn as you are experimenting. And depending on how your hair responds and how your lifestyle permits, you can now make modifications to that routine. But you have to start from somewhere. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have all your products, all the tips, everything. You don't need to have all the knowledge. Just create something simple and stick with that. It may just be something as washing and deep conditioning your hair once a month. Honestly, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just have a hair routine that you know you can stick to and consistently carry that routine out on your hair. Then depending on how your hair responds, you can now make modifications. Now when having a hair care routine, one of the most important things you have to consider is deep conditioning, especially protein deep conditioning. Remember I said that relaxers work by breaking down the protein bonds in your hair, so you have to replenish that. This is where deep conditioning comes in. This is where protein deep conditioning comes in. You also have to consider moisture deep conditioning, because you can't just keep giving your hair protein treatments without moisture, because then your hair is going to have protein overload, become dry, and then start breaking. So it's all about finding a balance. So both protein and moisturizing deep conditioning is important when you are trying to build a hair care routine. In fact, I feel like this is one of the most important things you have to take note of. Okay, moving on, another thing you have to consider is moisturizing. So how frequently do you want to be moisturizing your hair? Is it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, depending on your lifestyle, depending on if you are using protective styles and all of that? Yes, you can get away with moisturizing your hair once a month, at least for those of you that have been following me on my channel and know about my routine, you know how I get away with this. Okay, so yeah, it's all about your routine. It's all about knowing what works for you, about knowing what works for your hair, and about the type of product. You can get away with using a lightweight product more frequently, but if you decide to use a heavy product more often, you are going to get negative results from that, because then you are going to have to deal with product build-up, and instead of seeing positive results, you are now going to get breakage. Okay, so you have to just get a routine that works for you. Basically, get a routine that works for your hair. It's possible that it may take you months or even years to get a routine that works. So that is why I said just start. The earlier you start, the better. The earlier you start, the more you can experiment, the more time you have with your hair, the more time you have to learn about your hair and what modifications to make. So just start. That's basically it. Another thing you have to consider when creating your routine is your shampoos. So how often do you want to shampoo? How often do you want to wash your hair? How often do you want to clarify your hair? And all of that. Another thing you want to do when building a hair care routine is to look out for signs of protein and moisture overload. So like I said earlier, if you use more of protein deep conditioners without balancing it with moisture, you are going to get protein overload. And the same thing happens if you are using more of moisturizing deep conditioners without balancing it with protein. You are going to get moisture overload, and both of them can result in breakage. So you need to get that balance. You need to get that protein moisture balance. I have a video on my channel where I've talked about the signs of protein overload and how to fix this if you have it, so you can check it out if you are interested. I am also going to make another video talking about the signs of moisture overload and how to fix it if you have it. So you have to make sure your hair is having that protein moisture balance constantly. Moving on, another thing you have to consider when you are building your routine is your trims. How often do you want to be trimming? How often do you want to be dusting? Do you want to get your trim yourself? Do you want to get it done at a salon? So these are the things you have to consider when building a hair care routine. Another thing is your detangling. Now, the way you detangle relaxed hair may be different from how you detangle natural hair. For natural hair, you can easily detangle under the shower, like when you are washing your hair and all of that. But sis, relaxed hair is weakest when it's wet, so don't even try this. So when it comes to detangling relaxed hair, it's best to do this with a deep conditioner rather than trying to do it under the shower, because sis, your hair will not like it. So another thing you have to consider when you are building a hair care routine is scalp massages. Now, these are more of like an icing on the cake or like some form of sprinkle, okay, because this is not compulsory. I don't do scalp massages all the time, so you can add it to your routine or you can decide to skip it. But what this basically does is to stimulate more blood flow to your scalp, which is going to promote healthy hair growth. You can add this to your routine if you want to promote more hair growth, but it is not compulsory to do this. So the compulsory basic things I have mentioned are the deep conditioning, moisturizing, shampooing, trimming, and detangling. So that's it about having a hair care routine. Moving on, another thing you have to do when you are trying to grow your relaxed hair is relaxer stretches. Like, if you have been following me, you'd know that I literally sing relaxer stretches on my channel. I go on relaxer stretches every single year. In fact, I am currently on a relaxer stretch. Relaxer stretches have been one of the major things that helps me grow my hair to tailbone length. I don't joke with relaxer stretches, and I take it so serious to the point that I even now stretch my relaxers for over a year. My last relaxer stretch was 16 months. Yeah, that's how serious it was. But I am not saying that you should automatically go on 16 months relaxer stretches, but try and stretch your relaxers gradually. That's basically what I'm saying. So if you have been relaxing your hair every 2 months, says that is too often. Try to reduce it. So instead of 2 months, for your next relaxer stretch, you can attempt 10 weeks. From 10 weeks, you can attempt 3 months. From 3 months, you can attempt 14 weeks. From 14 weeks, you can attempt 4 months. And when you do it gradually like this over the months and years, before you know, you are stretching your relaxers for even a year. So what relaxer stretches does is to give you enough room to work with on your relaxer day. So for example, if you are stretching your relaxers for only 2 months, you may probably have like 1 to 2 inches of new growth max. Now when you're trying to relax just 1 to 2 inches of new growth, there is risk of applying the relaxer on your previously relaxed hair, which is going to lead to over processing of your hair, thereby making your hair weaker and more prone to breakage. So the longer you stretch your relaxers, the more new growth you have and the less risk of overlapping your relaxers. Another thing you want to consider if you want to grow your relaxed hair longer is protective styling. Remember I said that relaxed hair is by default weaker than natural hair and more prone to breakage, so you have to make sure protective styling is key. In fact, whether you are natural or relaxed, I feel like protective styling should be key because either way breakage can occur. So protective styling is one of the best ways to escape this, like to escape excessive manipulation and risk breakage. So if you just want your hair to thrive, if you want to escape breakage as much as possible, keep your ends tucked away and protected, protective styling is one of the best ways to do this. And it doesn't have to be long-term protective styles. You can install short-term protective styles. You can even be using 1 week protective styles. As long as you are keeping your hair in protective styles, sis, your hair is good. Another thing you have to consider if you want to grow your relaxed hair longer is to reduce heat. Reduce the frequency of heat. It's not every wash day that you blow dry your hair. It's not every wash day that you flat iron your hair. It's not every wash day that you sit under a dryer. So learn to reduce the use of heat. I use heat on my hair I think about once a year. If I'm stretching it, maybe twice a year. So there are other healthy heatless ways of straightening your hair or getting coils or whatever without using heat. So you can use air drying. You can even use African threaded twist to air dry your hair. This is what I do now and it keeps your hair straightened. You can also use roller sets. Okay, so you don't have to use heat every single wash day in order to give your hair the best results. So the less you use heat on your hair, the better for your hair. So if you have been using heat on your hair every week or every month, stop this because this may be damaging your hair. Okay, so moving on, the next thing you want to do when it comes to growing your relaxed hair longer and healthier is to be consistent. You can have the best routine in the world. If you are not consistent, you are not going to get results. So that is why I always preach on my channel that create a routine you know will be easy for you to stick with. It is better for you to have a simple routine that you know you will be more consistent with than to have a complicated perfect routine that you know will be too difficult for you to do and then you start skipping your routines. So instead of that, create a simple routine, something you know you can be consistent with and stick with that. The key is consistency rather than perfection. Choose consistency over perfection every single time. And if you know you are finding it hard to do all this, like finding it hard to create a routine or finding it hard to be consistent, my ultimate hair growth guide can literally help you with this. So the guide contains a 30 days step-by-step daily routine section. So this is a routine that you can literally copy and paste on your hair. Everything is already done for you, including the products you have to use. So you don't have to stress yourself about what products to use. Everything you need is in there, from protein deep conditioners, moisturizing deep conditioners, clarifying shampoos, moisturizing shampoos, leave-in moisturizer, teeth protectant, hair oils. Everything is literally in there. So the routine is a step-by-step daily guide. It's like I'm literally holding your hand step by step through your hair growth journey. So what you will do on each and every day, on the first day, is there on the second day, on the third day, on the fourth day, every single thing. So the routine is so simple that even if you don't have time, even though you are a busy mom, even though you are a student, it is something that you can be consistent with. And there is no way that you will stick to this routine and you will not see results with your hair. Okay, so if you know that you don't want to stress yourself, or if you know that you have been finding it difficult to create a routine or be consistent with one, I feel like this is the best solution for you. So if you want to get this, I'll make sure to link it down in the description box below so that you can check it out. Okay, so yeah guys, that is it for today's video. That is it for the tips I have for you today on how to grow your relaxed hair longer, healthier, faster, and all of that. For my relaxed hair girlies, let me know in the comment section down below what your goal is when it comes to your length, the health of your hair, and yeah, all of that. So yeah guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here and you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing to join the family, and don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.